Welcome to 5 Minute Fridays. Today, we're going to discuss why most player development programs fail. And I'm going to use three programs that I did at the three universities I served, the University of Houston, University of Kansas, and Baylor University, and tell you why they failed. Here we go. I'm going to start my timer now. All right, now, the reason why most player development programs fail, and I'm talking about my experience, is a combination of a couple things. Number one is communication. Communication about the program. What do the athletes understand about the programming that's happened? And that's not only coming from me, but coming from coaches, coming from our staff. The big question athletes want to ask is why? Why do I have to do this? Why is this helpful? Why is this beneficial? Whatever it may be. And so the biggest thing is communicating what the program is. Number two is scheduling, getting on the schedule. The athlete schedule is loaded. And so getting on that schedule and finding a time that works makes it tough. And then number three is, I don't know if the right word is maturity, but path, I guess, journey, where they are on their journey, them understanding why programming is important, right? They're locked into football and they haven't heard, a lot of these players haven't heard in their life, like, hey, what's your plan? Like while you're in football, what are we going to do? What are we going to continue to do? And so they're locked in on football. So you think about communication, programming, scheduling, and just their journey, them being locked in on football. And so let's get started. At University of Houston, the program I remember that failed and made me super, super mad was shout out to Caleb Thornhill, who's vice president with the San Antonio Spurs. At the time, he was with the Miami Dolphins, and he did this incredible thing where whenever Caleb would come into town, he would reach out to the athletic department, sports management department, because he knew students or athletes wanted to know about player development. And so he hit us up. He hit up Zanny Slim. I think Zanny's name changed, but she was out doing student athlete development for us. And she hit me up. So I'm telling all the players, well, hey, y'all, the Miami Dolphins will be here. Now, we had a couple players on the team at that time, Cam Malvo, and I forgot the other player, but we definitely had Cam Malvo on the team at the time. So they practiced at our facility. And so I'm telling these players in our locker room, I go and find out how many players are doing sports management. I found out most of our players, about 30 players. So about a little over 25% of our team is doing sports management. Say, hey, guys, Miami Dolphins are here during your lunch. And so they asked what time would be great. I said lunchtime is best because most guys will be eating lunch. Some will be in class. So I'm literally sitting there and it was a quick turnaround program, but I'm thinking to myself, it's Miami Dolphins. Like you get a chance. Caleb Thornhill was there talking about player engagement. I can't think of his full name, but Mr. Jason, vice president, he passed away, God rest his soul. He was talking about communication. Someone was talking about media. Someone was talking about marketing. So we have these executives talking to our team and they made time to come talk. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, man, this would be a great time for this would be great for our players. And two of our players came. And so I sent it to our sports management program. They came, about 10, 15 students came. Two of our players came. I remember being so frustrated at that. And I know it was quick turnaround, but I'm literally telling players, I'm in the locker room, like literally 10 minutes before, like, you want to work in sports? Yep. Like, well, the Miami Dolphins are here. So that was that. I don't want to spend too much time there. The second one was KU. It was a branding workshop. We did a branding workshop with Smash McCaffrey and Kevin Berg. And this was right before NIL started. And so with that, the communication was good. That actually program wasn't terrible. We didn't have as many people show up, but we're talking about NIL. We're trying to prepare these athletes for that. But it was tough finding time in that schedule. It was a little tough finding time in the schedule with what they were doing. And the other thing was just the maturity of the players, where they were at on their journey. We communicated well. They understood. I felt like they understood, but like a lot of them thought money would just come. Like, oh, I'm a player. They're just going to give me money. They thought what the model is now, revenue sharing, was what NIL was going to be when it started. When NIL started, you had to do your work. And so that was tough. We got some good stuff out of it. The ones who did it got some good NIL, but we had out our team of 120, I felt like 40 guys needed to be there and about 15 showed up. And so that was one reason. And then at Baylor, when I look at player development programs that failed at Baylor, wasn't really allowed to do any. They failed just because of access, didn't have the support necessarily to do it unless it was a cultural program through our coach, like when we did the Baylor Standard. But for me to do what I did at these other places where like, hey, I'm going to pull off and do programming, that wasn't happening at Baylor University. And so those three reasons, like I said, I kind of mentioned it, but communication, right? Did I clearly, when I look at what failed for me, did I clearly communicate it, right, in a way that they would understand? Number two, did I get on their schedule, right? I talked about that KU, it was tough to get on the schedule, right? And then number three, where are they on their journey? Do they even understand, this is deeper than community, do they understand what's available for them? And the hard part is a lot of them don't. And that's just a reality of working in this field, that you may have an incredible program, but it may fail per se. It may not meet your standards because players just don't understand how it helps them. Their brains are still forming. They don't have people in their corner yet telling them like, hey, you need to go to this, right? And so that is that. That's 5-Minute Fridays. Hopefully your programs will not fail, because you will have the player development guide. Get my book. I'll give you a signed copy. You can find in the show notes the link for that. Have a great weekend.